Welcome to me cleaning my cello. Taking off all the rotten residue from our instrument and especially of the strings is something we should really be doing every day when we finish playing before we put the cello back into its case. But today I'm not going to give you a cleaning tutorial, but instead I want you, next time you do this and you clean your strings, I want you to pay attention to where most of your rotten residue actually is. Because if you're like, I don't want to say most, but a great many cellists, you will find an awful lot of it up here on the fingerboard. And that is what I want to talk to you about today, i.e. the habit of playing way too close to the fingerboard and not close enough to the bridge. Now, that obviously all falls under the topic of contact point. And I think if I had to make a sort of hit list of the top 3 things I correct most frequently when I'm teaching, contact point would probably be up there. Now, why is that so important? Because of course our string has got a certain amount of elasticity, it's got a certain amount of flexibility, which of course it's at its least flexible right near the bridge, and it gets more flexible as we move away from the bridge. Therefore, when we're playing, I would say our sort of nice fluffy comfort zone tends to be somewhere here away from the bridge, where the sound is nice and mellow, easier to control. So as a result, an awful lot of playing tends to take place up here. Now, the problem with that is that yes, indeed it is much more flexible, much more mellow, but that also means the sound doesn't have a great deal of punch and projection. And because of the register that we as cellists play in most of the time, punch and projection is really something we need to work on. And as usual, I'm going to give you an exercise. I'm going to be giving an exercise today which takes that really right to the other extreme, right out of your comfort zone, to really again do a little bit of shock therapy and get you right near the bridge. Now, why is playing right near the bridge so much less comfortable? Because of course the string is much more tense, it's got much more resistance, and it's more difficult to handle. It generally needs a slightly slower bow speed. So here's what I want you to do today. I really want you to try and get as close to the bridge as you can without allowing the sound to split, and I want you to play long bows as slowly as you can, like so. Now, that is much harder than it looks, as you will find when you try it out, because the one thing we really mustn't do is apply pressure from the top with our arm. If we apply pressure, what you're going to get is that. It sounds absolutely horrible and nasty, and of course you will straight away go, oh God, no, I don't want to play there, and go straight back up here. So what we need to do, it's actually quite interesting for me to try this today because this bow has just been rehaired by my wonderful bow rehairer Jana, and it's literally only 1 day old, this hair, and I've put a lot of rosin on it, as you have to do the first time you rosin fresh hair. So it's really grippy and gritty. Yeah, so in order to make sure now this sound doesn't split and it doesn't crack and creak, I really need to make sure my arm is completely relaxed, and all I use is the weight of my arm. You can see everything is hanging down, weight and slow sideways speed with my upper arm. So thing you will ever play. However, what it does is it's very, very difficult to control, and it really teaches us to get used to that higher resistance and also to that slightly grittier sound that you get. Even if I move away half an inch and I go here, there's still a lot more grit in that sound, and you really now want to compare that to the fluffiness of that and what you get here. And although right under your ear that can sound quite strident and can sound, I don't want to say nasty, but certainly more harsh than playing higher up. Once you actually step away, and especially if you're playing in a bigger space and then in the concert hall you go out, that goes away. That is not what carries into the distance. So especially when we are playing in an ensemble setting, when we are playing with instruments that naturally project much better. I spend a lot of my time playing piano trios, so I have to really go into battle with, you know, a 9-foot concert grand piano and a violin which naturally is, you know, very punchy because of the register it plays in. So for a cellist, that's always very tricky territory. And really what I've had to learn over the years is that even when you're playing in a quite a dynamic, when you're playing on piano, with that piano idea, you still need to play closer to the bridge, because that is where the sound carries. Yeah. So I've just noticed this is actually today a much longer exercise video than all of the others, but I thought it was a topic really worth getting into, because this is such a common habit of cellists to play up here all the time, and we really need to train ourselves to play with a slightly more open arm closer to the bridge, really to produce that projection in the sound. So as always, have fun with it, give it a go, and if you found this useful, then smash the like button and subscribe if you haven't already done so. See you for another one.